Palantir, 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 Palantir. Why is the stock continuing to go up and down like a yo-yo? Are the long-term shareholders all begin to pull out, or is it time for a revolution? Do the true believers continue to buy and wait for it to fly to the moon when it becomes profitable? Yes, indeed, Palantir is a stock that anyone could look to buy. Palantir is an absolute steal deal right now, and going into the future, you're going to wish you had brought into Palantir. No financial advice. Do your research, but Palantir is a stock that you should look deep into. Yes. Wow. Why is Palantir, when it flew to $10, then suddenly crashed back down, and now is around the $7, $8 mark? What is happening in the stock? Why is it doing it? Why is it trading like a penny stock when it really should be more than a penny stock? But for some reason it continues to be traded like a penny stock. How does Palantir go to their next level high? How does it break through and go back up to the moon? A lot of people are saying, well, maybe you're just wasting your money. This is a dead company, but it's far from that. It went to gap profitability in the last quarter, and wait for it to just keep growing and growing to profitability. And when it does that, we'll be celebrating with Palantir to the moon. But why is Palantir not going upwards? I'm going to give you a few reasons why, and you can understand this. First of all, they're not the owners themselves continuously keep selling out of their stock. Now, whether it's a big percentage and that's time to tell, but all these people and their employees continue to sell the stock, and it gives less confidence for the other shareholders as why are these guys selling. Do they not believe in the product? Do they believe this Palantir is not the future? They think they're eventually going to get brought out. That is a possibility. Who could buy out Palantir? At the moment, you're probably looking at a company like Salesforce. They're probably one of their more direct competitors. Salesforce, would they buy out Palantir? It's going to be interesting going forward. They certainly got the money to do it, whether they want to do it and take on all that pressure of what Palantir has to do, because there's a lot of work that goes into Palantir and maybe too complex for Salesforce. But that is a possibility. But yes, no confidence with the owners selling out of their stocks regularly. It's not a good sign. Another reason is the stock outstanding continues to rise every year. Now, if you're looking at last year, it was only 7% increase, which is a lot better than what it was. Trust me, indeed, a lot better. But before then, in 2020, was 70%. Yes, and it was crazy in 2021, 96%. Craziness, absolute craziness. Yes, indeed, absolute craziness there. Why is shares outstanding bad? Well, for people that don't know, shares outstanding, if you own 1 out of 10 stocks in Palantir, say for instance, and then they add another 5 shares to that list, instead of having 10% of the company, you go down. Sorry, you'll go down to like 7.5%, because now it's 1 out of 15. So you don't own as much as the company as you once did. So you lost 2.5% in your worth. That's basically what shares outstanding is. Whether it goes up and down. If they decrease, if it decreases, and you go from 1 out of 10 shares to 1 in 5, then you're 50% improved. So that's where you got to look. You got to look big time on this sort of stuff. So stock share outstanding. So if it increases, you're getting diluted, and if it goes down, you're getting more of the company yourself. That's why a lot of people like the bigger companies that do give share buybacks, which is something that Palantir need to do desperately soon if they really want to start building. And why wouldn't you, with the price being so low? They really need to start looking at that. What's some positives going for this company? Obviously, the new NHS deal, well, some people might say it's not a positive, but 480 million expected to come onto this deal if it gets approved. But there's been a bit of controversy about the doom gloom that Palantir is the biggest corporate of all. They are coming the giant killers. They own America. They're going to blow up the world, and all this crazy nonsense out there that they're the empire that's going to take over all of England and all this carry on. We're not going back to the King and Lord's days. No, thank you. But with the Palantir, the future of Palantir going forward, I think it is they need to get more and more bigger clients like that. If they could get a Facebook, Tesla, something in that realm that goes into their data analysis, then this company will start to skyrocket. It'll probably go to $20 overnight, and then it could continue up to $50, $100 if all this aligns and they continue to improve revenue. Obviously, talking about revenue, Palantir's revenue dropped in 2020 to around 27%, 23%, sorry. But before that, it was 2021 was 41%, and 2020 it was 47%. So they've dropped in half of their growth rate from the year to year. So that's not good. But considering the climate we've been in, to still have that sort of revenue growth, they really are one of the companies really going forward, going into the future. But long term, they need to try and bounce back their revenue growth to get the people that are sold out thinking they have slowed down. That's another reason why the stock has been under pressure. Whenever it starts to fly, people take their money and run. And you've got to think, with the money going up and down a bit too, you could question that a lot of this trading is coming from the big dogs or the short sellers. Not the short sellers, but people are trying to make a gain. So they might have brought in at $5 in Palantir when it skyrocketed to $19. They took their position and out the door and put it onto somewhere else. That's what some people do. And when you have the bigger money, that's what they look to do, to keep their investors. But it's a lot of money to waste when you got to pay those big taxes when you're buying and selling within a year. So that's obviously a problem if you do buy and sell within a year. But one of the biggest concerns from Palantir is actually their owner. Alex Karp has no charisma at all. Absolutely nothing. He needs to find someone in his department higher up that is charismatic, can get the point across, and they can understand what Palantir is. Because when normally he goes to interview, it's all about the science. He needs to get into the business model. He needs to get into where the future hides for Palantir, and people understand the company, because the general public at the moment just don't really understand it at all. They just know it's something to do with data and that's about it. But they need to understand the full business and how this is going to improve their lives overall and will help to get more big business, and that's what they need, Palantir. Even though it's a big market cap, it's got a long way to go to raise up to the big dogs. Yeah, so that's a bit from Palantir from me. Looking to the future for Palantir, I seriously think it's at an unbelievable price right now. I think it's going to go right up high going into the future. You need to be excited. You need to go through all this pain. Even if it drops back down to 5 again, just keep on buying, and wait for it to go boom. You obviously got to look at matters that say, no, this company's gone. If the management's completely gone crazy and the revenue continues to drop, then you got to reevaluate and think, hey, is this company actually as good as what it used to be? That's stuff you got to look at. They obviously have to get to net profitability. So for people that don't like this sort of investing, you'd want to stay clear of Palantir. You wait for it to become profitable and start investing then, which you can still make gains. But people that want to make the real big career gains, just keep on buying, and wait for it to go boom. That's what investing's about. You don't always get it right. That's why you got to diversify a little bit. I don't say diversify all the way to 20, 30 stocks. I think you can diversify into 10, and that's all you need for the rest of your life. You don't need to go skydiving to the moon. You just need to pick stocks at the right time and load the boat quickly. because you often don't get chances to buy a lot. Sometimes you do, which we've had recently over the last year or so. We've been able to get the bargains, and look at how they've jumped back up quickly, especially the big companies, Facebook and etc. Nvidia have really skyrocketed. Tesla, Netflix, when they were at their lows, it was a great time to buy. You just got to buy the companies when they're in good prices. And Palantir at the moment, in terms of valuation and price, at the moment is very, very much in that sort of fair to undervalued range right now. But the potential for this company is very high, and I think Palantir is a chance for the future. Remember, all my videos are educational and fun purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with another video very soon. Take care out there, my friends.